Good evening, everyone. I apologize for our tardiness, even though it's 8:30. We had to move the show by 30 minutes, and we're not going to say why.
After moving it by 24 hours.
I have to move it by 24 hours. But what's important is we're here.
And it is 100% my fault.
I wasn't going to throw you under the bus.
I'm throwing myself under the bus. Honestly, working with Steve is like working with a saint. Honestly, I have been terrible with the scheduling, and I've just been feeling bad about it. So thankfully, he can accommodate my moving schedule.
It is all good. Well, obviously, we have SoFi, Micron, and NVDA in the headline, but as some in the chat have said, SMCI, there's some news out. Let's cover this first. So I'm going to find the exact headline. SMCI. Pretty crazy. I saw it on X. Now I can't find it.
SMCI disclosed that federal prosecutors in the Southern District of New York have charged 3 people tied to the company. So not just the company, specific people at the company, in alleged export control conspiracy. Supermicro was not named as a defendant. The company placed 2 employees on an administrative leave, cut ties with a contractor, and is cooperating with the investigation. Honestly, I am surprised that they're down that much, unless people are attributing a lot of their sales to China, but they're not even named as a defendant.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it looks like there were 3 bad actors.
We will see what happens.
Down 12.3%.
Shells, what's going on? All right, Tanner. Where would you like to start? I'll give you the pick. Micron, NVIDIA, SoFi.
Dude, have you tried the new poll feature on StreamYard?
StreamYard has a poll feature?
Yeah, click on widgets on the side. Do you see widgets?
I do.
It's great across channels.
Oh, so they actually have a poll?
Yeah, so it works across all the channels. Okay. One poll.
When did they add this?
I don't know. It just appeared a couple days ago.
Or did we just not know that it freaking happened?
No. The widgets was not there a couple days ago.
All right.
It works if you're on X. It works if you're on Twitch. It's all one poll across everything.
All right.
So put what do you guys want to start with first?
I already did.
Is it up on screen?
Yeah. So it says put in chat and then it tallies on my screen.
Got you.
So SoFi 63%, Micron 0%.
I can't see it on my end. They need to fix that.
Yeah, I can see it on mine.
It's on my YouTube. It's working. I just can't see it from my guest view.
And there's nothing for me to share it with you.
No. I can literally. It's on my YouTube screen. Like I see it. It's broadcasting on my YouTube, but I can't see it on my screen. Like here.
I mean, I can probably just stop it. SoFi 67%.
All right, SoFi it is.
Yeah, SoFi it is. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, it's a nice little feature because it works across everything.
It makes it easier now. I don't have to go back to freaking YouTube to try.
Do you remember those? Do you remember those the polls that you used to do with Matt and everything?
Yeah.
That would be way better because it would go across both your channels. You don't have to add them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. That said, let's start with SoFi. You had rinsed Muddy Waters on X. What did you end up writing?
I mean,
Muddy Waters got a short report, by the way. I'm sure everyone knows this, and that's why you guys voted for SoFi. But SoFi ended up receiving a short report that was 28 pages in length, tons of accusations, and the way that I would put it is there's sort of 3 buckets of their accusations. One,
oh, they responded to me.
Muddy Waters responded to you.
Yeah. I didn't even see it. All right, so I'm going to read what I wrote first, and then I will.
All of it?
I'll read it quick, and then I'll read what they said.
Okay, give us the TLDR here.
So, the Money Waters short thesis relies heavily on the idea that SoFi is artificially suppressing its personal loan charge-off rate to protect the fair value of its assets. Money Waters argues that SoFi's true charge-off rate is sitting close to 6.1%, which is drastically different from the 2.8% annualized net rate the company reported in Q4 2025. They claim SoFi pulls this off by offloading distressed loans just days before the 120-day mandatory charge-off window and stashing defaulted loans in off-balance sheet variable interest entities. If SoFi had to plug that 6.1% rate into discounted cash flow models, Money Waters estimates it would wipe out $259 million in fair value gains, dragging down 2025 adjusted EBITDA by almost 25%. To back this up, the report points to the court filings showing SoFi sold $62.5 million in defaulted loans to Ultra Ventures LLC for just $5 million, about 8 cents on the dollar to dodge the charge-off hit. The reality of SoFi's disclosures. If you take a close look at SoFi's financial disclosures and standard banking practices, they paint a very different picture. The idea that SoFi is secretly burying losses assumes their metrics are meant to mislead investors. In reality, SoFi openly details these exact moves in its SEC filings.
I need more flavor in the way you're reading this. Read this like a Mitt on his live stream. The earnings release clearly states that the reported 2.8. Let's go.
I was trying to freaking get through it quickly, but okay. Their earnings release clearly states, is that better, Tanner? Clearly states, okay, that the reported 2.8% Q4 2025 charge-off rate already bakes in asset values, new originations, and late-stage delinquency sales. Management even models out what the numbers would look like without those sales to give the market total transparency. Their filings explicitly note that if they hadn't sold those late-stage delinquent loans, that an all-in annualized net charge-off rate for Q4 2025 would have been around 4.4%. This would have been 0.2% higher than Q3. Selling late-stage delinquent loans right before the 120-day mark isn't a shady accounting loophole. From what I've researched, it's standard practice for capital optimization across the consumer lending industry. Is this better for you, Tanner?
Way better, Steve. I don't know if I'll be able to survive the whole thing.
All right, fine. Anyway, I basically went through the whole thing, and then I'm seeing now, Muddy Waters, your presentation of our argument entirely omits the mathematical impossibility of charging off more loans than were 30 days plus delinquent the preceding quarter. What explanation do you have for that other than the company is parking default loans off the balance sheet?
Here's my I didn't understand this. So okay, so did you hear this part of their argument? Did you remember reading this? That they said, hey, there were more loans the next quarter that went into 60-day delinquent than there were previously that were 90-day delinquent. Meaning, how could that possibly happen? Because the pool of loans had to be out of the 30-day delinquent loans in order to vintage into the next defaulted amount. No, Muddy Waters, it doesn't. It's 30 days. There's 90 days in a quarter. You can have loans that were not defaulted at all in one quarter, and then in the next quarter, they can go into 30, 60, and 90 days. I don't understand how this is an impossibility. Impossibility of charging off more loans than there were 30-plus day delinquent loans the preceding quarter. Because quarters are 90 days long, guys.
I'm not even responding to them.
You can have a loan that immediately comes onto the book, that they could write a loan, it could go into 30 days delinquent, and then go into 60 days delinquent in one quarter. That's how that happens. There's 90 days in a quarter.
Dookie just gave me the middle finger.
I think she meant to say Steve is my number one.
You're with the middle finger. I mean, I'm not going to respond to them. I obviously think that they did not do their due diligence, I would happily have a one-on-one conversation with them, but it's not even worth responding to on X.
The impossibility is what they said. Like, you think Deloitte missed that?
Sure.
You think the auditors missed that? You think the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency missed that one?
I mean, and that was only one thing. The loan charge-off and credit quality was just one thing. They had student loan valuation. They had secured loans and seller financing. They had the loan platform business and Enron comparisons. They had the SEC correspondence and hidden debt and corporate governance. I mean, they went all out with basically no facts, in my opinion.
I wouldn't go that far. I think that they covered so many things in 28 pages that there were stuff that like was not fraud. It was just they didn't like it. Fair value accounting, the dilution, stuff like this. But those are known problems. Every company has their problems. You balance out the problems with either the price of the company or the growth rates or what have you, right? So there are problems with SoFi. It's not a perfect business.
No business is a perfect business.
No business is a perfect business except for NVIDIA. That's how the asterisks.
But here's the thing. Don't say this is an Enron-esque company, okay? Because you're basically saying they're committing fraud.
Yeah, and then they said there's impossibilities and all this stuff of how can something age more than 30 days in a 90-day quarter? Well, clearly that's possible. Right. And then the other one was they would say stuff like, we assume or we believe that they are doing this. Like either they're finding buyers to sell off-balance sheet loans or something like this. It's like, one, you don't have proof of that, and I can't provide proof that they're not. Like you're saying stuff that none of us could prove. And the only people that could prove that is SoFi or their auditors or regulators that actually get to actually look at the seasoning of their loans. Or the loan buyers or something like this, which they find more and more loan buyers. They just said they had the most demand for their loans than ever before. They have they're lining up LPBE. What was the comment that they said from last quarter? Here, let me find that. You should see the updates on Fiscal AI. You'd go nuts. You'd love them.
What do you mean?
Fiscal AI's just got a lot of nice updates lately that you would enjoy.
Huh?
Okay, let me try to find this for you. In Q4, as a result of our increased LPB activity, we retained fewer new loans on the balance sheet. There was something about having a large increase in total customers. I don't remember where that was. We signed a new partner this week for 2026 LPB, and we have several other partners who are in the final term sheets. So overall demand couldn't be better from an investor standpoint or an investor perspective. That is pretty nice. And look at that. Look how nice that is. Oh.
Yeah, I kind of love that.
So you can take quotes out. It says who it's from, Chris LaPointe. Nice quotes for X.
Kind of love that. I just can't believe that they actually said that.
Yeah.
Your presentation of our argument entirely omits the mathematical impossibility of charging off more loans than were 30 days delinquent the preceding quarter.
No.
So you have a quarter ending, and then there's another 90 days.
Yeah. So what they're saying is saying, hey, a loan can't get to 120 days fully delinquent, but that's not how that works, by the way. So I forget what the amount is for fair value. It's something like After 10 days, it's a certain amount. After 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, you have to write off a certain amount total of those loans. At like 90 days, something like 90% of the loan has to be written off. And so over the course of 90 days, it doesn't just need to be from the pool of the 30-day delinquent loans. There could be new loans because SoFi is growing their personal loan book by so much, like double-digit percentages, that there could be loans that were not delinquent the quarter before that do become delinquent and get to a pretty decent delinquency rate, like up to 90 days, essentially.
I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. It doesn't make any sense. It's breaking my brain, as Tevis would say. What is that, Wendy's? A little Wendy's coffee?
Wendy's coffee.
Never had it.
It's not good.
I can't say it's not good or not. I've never had it.
But I needed a coffee, and Wendy's was nearby.
Okay, I hear that. I get that. So how are you feeling about SoFi these days, Tanner?
SoFi is it's one of those things where they're having real macro problems. If we don't get a rate cut, and in fact we get a rate hike, that is not good for business. Like, that's actually not good for business. Will they still end up beating their numbers? Sure, but like, it's not going to be a blowout year without the expected 2 rate cuts. So yeah, that's a thing. And then I'm looking at some of the other names in the space, actually outside of this space, the fintech space, where I'm seeing names like NVDA, Nebius, Micron, which are not nearly going to be affected by rate hikes. And I just think that it's a easier play for me. Now, the stocks can be impacted by the macro. Like, if people are just not wanting equities, then they're like, Micron's going to face that problem, but so is SoFi. But fundamentally, they're going to do well, where SoFi could end up seeing it fundamentally and sentiment-wise.
So you think rate cuts really matter that much for them?
I mean, Steve, I feel like you're setting me up. You're like, yes, SoFi.
No, I'm asking a legitimate
SoFi,
question.
the lender, does. Yeah,
from
they
an
are
origination standpoint, I agree. Lower rates is better for them. There's no question about that.
They're going to pivot to more other things. Like, I think they still will beat 4 quarters in a row. We saw the fastest rate hike cycle in history, and they still ended up beating every quarter. But you see what that did to the stock. Stock went all the way down to $4. It impacts earnings expectations. You know,
I mean, and look, we're down 50% from highs almost. We have what, 31, 32, and we're at 17.
Yeah,
we're at 45% or so.
Yeah, and it makes it look cheap, but I mean, there's a company selling chips that's at a 5.6 forward PE. So like, there are other cheap names.
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting. So the worst type of market, and the market where people are going to get most upset at me, is whenever everything is on a discount. Because then you have to, like, yes, SoFi is cheap. And if you really like SoFi and that's the name that you feel comfortable in buying, now is a great buy. But there might be, like, if something is 50% off, other things might be 80% off. And it doesn't make 50% off not interesting, but the 80% off is definitely like, you know, that's flashing the buy, the buy signs.
Yeah, I'm not buying here. I think SoFi is going to be fine. I don't think they're going to have a problem beating guidance. I do think that one rate cut is not going to be great for them. At the same time, the only reason I say that is because I don't think one rate cut gets the housing market unlocked. And I don't know that it really gets student loans kicking in high gear. I was really hoping for 3 rate cuts this year.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get that unless this situation in Iran is solved miraculously over the next 2 weeks. You have Saudi Arabia coming out and saying Iran better wisen up or else. You have Israel coming out saying they're going to help get the Strait of Hormuz open. So who the hell knows? But, you know, Mimi's right. Notice that they're not tied to rate cuts, but in reality, they may not be tied to rate cuts for their guidance, but for beating and continuously raising the way they have, rate cuts certainly helps that narrative.
And their guidance is tied to rate cuts. They even said in their expectations that they expect 2 rate cuts in their guidance for 2026. So like you even have to think, although lending for SoFi makes up for like 49% of revenue or whatever it is, 48%. The loan platform business falls under financial services revenue. So there's another sliver of earnings that are also tied to the macro. Like it's a lot. Now, that doesn't necessarily affect SoFi Invest or the new crypto products or maybe big business banking or SoFi USD or really any of those things. Like all those things are going to continue to do well, but it is a smaller cut. And someone said like, well, are you trimming or anything like this? No. I'm not saying anything drastic. Like I honestly do love SoFi. I love the company. I love the name. I love everything. But in the companies that I'm opportunistically buying right here, it's going to be smaller names like Nebius and Micron, which have extremely small positions in my portfolio comparatively to my SoFi position. I'm not adding to my third biggest name.
And the crazy part is SoFi was such a bigger portion of your portfolio three months ago.
Yes.
It was a bigger portion of all of our portfolios 3 months ago.
Yeah, but everything's down for me.
Not like SoFi, though.
No. NVIDIA has been a nice, actually a nice anchor on my portfolio. Not anchor, but like, I guess buoy. It's held my portfolio up because it's not going down. Dude, there's a little name. I know you don't care to look at this, and I don't want to spend more than 5 minutes on it.
Hit me with it.
DLocal.
Okay.
Tiny little payments name you didn't pay attention to today. They're up 9.2%. They ended up having earnings. Huge beat. 14% beat on revenue. This is a payments name. You know the metrics that software companies have, net dollar retention. If I were to ask you a SaaS name, and you can think of like they're like Adyen or like Stripe, like a payment company, what would be a good net dollar retention? Like a company using them for payments and then coming back for more, judged on revenue, not payment volume, but revenue.
I mean, this is an opinion from me, okay?
Yeah.
Anybody can sit there and say 105% is a good net dollar retention rate because that means that they are upselling. Anything over 100% can theoretically be classified as a good one because you're upselling. For me, 115 and more is what I would classify as good. I would classify anything above 125 as excellent.
And what's Palantir's? What's an unbelievable one?
Palantir's is 139%.
Yeah, so that's unbelievable.
I think it's incredible.
Yeah. Let's bring up DLocals really quick.
Yeah, what is DLocals? 160?
I mean, you might be a little bearish. 162, ladies and gentlemen.
You gotta be kidding me.
162.
I can't believe I said 160. I had no freaking clue.
No, I know you didn't. I know that was an honest reaction. But an unbelievable quarter. This averaged out, I think, for the full year, year over year, was like 158% or something like this. So this is what their TPV growth looks like. Let me take down net dollar retention really quick. Like the amount of payments that they're actually doing each quarter is just skyrocketing. I think like the last 5 years, it has averaged out at 82% compounded annual growth rate. Okay. It is a very interesting growth story. Under $4 billion market cap, $3.7 billion, $300 million buyback program, free cash flow positive, all fee-based revenue. They don't take on any risk. They deal with some of the biggest names like Meta and like I think like DoorDash, stuff like some of the biggest companies. Very interesting name. They now service 44 countries and continue to expand every year. Pretty cool.
So are you buying more?
I'm not buying more right now because Micron exists. If I had cash, I would buy more. I would honestly go into my portfolio and buy everything again. Like, I love my portfolio. SoFi's on sale. NVIDIA, I would just double up on. Shopify is great. This is maybe one name that I would not look to trim, but like it is one of the more expensive names in my entire portfolio. However, they just command such a premium. It's like whenever everything's on sale, it's like, do you trim Palantir to buy everything else? It's like, it's hard to do that because they are such a winner. But they are up there on the most expensive.
Shopify is a great company. There's no question about it. It's an incredible company. I don't think that you can run an e-commerce business without Shopify or something like a Shopify.
Yeah. Nubank is getting sold off like crazy. This company is just getting ridiculously priced, $14. Like, so freaking cheap. And this company is unbelievable. Honestly, I love the execution of all the companies that I hold.
So if you had to say your top two that you would actually consider adding, look, this is not, I don't even think I did the disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Nobody should freaking do anything based on what Tannor and I are talking about. We have no idea what your situation is. Don't do your own due diligence, please. Don't make any decisions based on us, okay? We are not your advisors. But Tannor, for you personally, if you had to go into two new positions with new capital because you think things are on sale, what are your two highest convictions right now in your portfolio? Not things that you would add outside of it, just what you're currently holding.
NVIDIA and Nebius.
I get it.
I think the AI trade's so much bigger than we all thought.
You know, I'm excited. I don't know if I'm going to watch it tonight or listen to it in the car tomorrow, but the All In guys got to do an interview with Jensen, and I'm so excited to listen to it.
You'll like it. He's a funny guy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's probably going to make me want to buy more NVIDIA with the cash in the account tomorrow.
Tesla and Micron. So the only reason, like, I think maybe the two that I picked have a nice balance of growth, but also like there's a lot of stability in NVIDIA. Whereas Nebius, I think, is the possibility of having like extreme upside, but risky.
Yeah. I don't know. Nebius, great company. I mean, you called it the other night when we were giving you a little bit of a hard time about it, and you were right. I mean, obviously, you called Zuckerberg. You said, "Hey, listen, I'm getting bullied. I need you to get the big guns out." Zuck said, "You know what, Tannor, no problem. I got you."
No, I didn't know that was going to happen at all.
Even though Steve's been a shareholder of my company since day one, no problem. I got you. And they came out of the gate on Monday morning firing.
$27 billion. That's all.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. We need to shut down Meta Horizons and give all our money to Nebius instead. Actually, they undid that, by the way. They are restarting Horizon Worlds. They're not canceling it.
Which is a little crazy.
Yeah. It was like one day they were like, it's gone. And then supposedly fans came out and they were like, we love it. And they're like, all right.
I don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, obviously, you don't want to see anybody lose their jobs. We all know that, right? At the same time, you're getting rid of 20% of the company. What are you doing with all that capital now?
I don't know, brother.
I have no idea. I don't know.
You've been the shareholder forever.
Yeah.
I never knew it was called Horizon Worlds. Horizon Worlds is like their metaverse game that they created that they kept building on.
I'm not worried. I think Meta is so undervalued, but Tannor brings up a great point. And his point about Micron, I want to show Tannor the numbers. Sorry, I was just texting Hager about something. Let me bring up the sheet. I mean, when I saw their free Micron's increased EPS guidance, okay? And I put it against everybody else. This company looks, Tanner's right, this company looks so cheap. It's like, can you get any cheaper? Well, yeah, you can, but I don't know how much cheaper they can really get. 7.7 times earnings.
Sorry, where am I looking? 7.7? I don't even know if you're I don't know if those are up to date anymore, Steve.
I think they are, because they were not this high yesterday.
No. I don't did you get these numbers like later in the day?
Not today. Did they change again?
Yeah, I think there were some analyst updates. I think it's like 5 point something now. I'm seeing 4.96 is the forward PE right now.
Yeah, 4.97 I have.
Oh, sorry. It's always confusing the way you write it out. It confuses me.
And they did change again. 58. Oh my God. You ready for what this just changed to tonight? And I did this earlier in the day today. This is going from 89.35 to 95.53. Jesus Christ.
That's unbelievable.
And this is going to come down to 78.48. I mean, this is trading at less than 5 times next year's earnings and 5.5 times 2028. Like, come on. I get it. Everybody thinks it's a boom bust cycle, but this is still so cheap. Who the hell trades in the single digits? Tobacco companies don't even trade in the single digits. Yeah. This is cheaper than a tobacco company. I mean, Altria Group trades at 11.5 times earnings.
And they're like, if it stays at this price through next quarter and then Q4, which are most likely going to beat, like people need to understand that. Like we are going to see beats. I need to check the numbers for well, like you're looking on the annualized basis. I look at it from the quarterly basis. I'd like to see here. Wait, let me bring this up.
I mean, just wrong line. I gotta do this one.
Oh my God, dude! The earnings revisions look like the vertical axis. It literally just goes up.
Yeah, I mean, look at this compared to Altria Group. Altria Group is a freaking tobacco company that has 7% EPS growth over the next 2 years, and that's because of buybacks. Micron is growing 35% over the next 2 years based on the estimates, and it trades at a fraction of the multiple. Like, what do we? And this is why I get so angry that the market needs to be based more on fucking math. This is crazy.
But dude, it is so much cheaper than you're even giving it credit for, Steve. Because the EPS estimate for next quarter is $18.86. That's 30 cents lower than what Micron is saying they're going to do.
I'm just
Do you not think Micron is being conservative and is going to beat? They beat by 40% last quarter.
Listen, I'm going by what the analyst community is saying they're going to do for this fiscal year.
I know, but people need to realize that you're being conservative.
I'm going by what the analyst community is saying it's going to be. I'm not making up my own numbers.
I know, but I'm not making up my own numbers either. I'm talking Micron's numbers.
And I get it.
Micron says 19.15 next quarter. Wall Street has it at 18.86. That is, Wall Street's being very bearish.
A little bearish?
Yeah.
A little bearish.
Halle Berry's. A couple of Halle Berry's over in Wall Street.
Micron's a great company. If you had to choose Micron or NVIDIA, what do you throw money at?
I mean, right now I'm enjoying the fun trade of Micron.
Where'd you get in at?
Not far up. I can check my phone. I'm up like 1%. I bought on Monday.
Okay.
One sec.
And while Tanner's checking, big news, everyone. So the current Middle East conflict could escalate rapidly, potentially driving oil prices above 200 a barrel if disruptions persist for multiple months, according to Francisco Blanche, head of commodities and derivatives research at Bank of America Global Research. And guess what? The futures are taking off. The NASDAQ is up 264, the Dow is up 466, and the S&P is up 65. I'm going to go to Reuters, and I'm going to see if there's any news on the global front.
Reuters?
That's how I pronounce it. Trump tells Israel not to repeat strikes on Iranian energy as crisis deepens.
No, I'm practically right at break even. I'm like, or a little under right now, 446.
That's where you bought it, 446?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're even.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Iran. All right. So Iran attacks wipe out 17% of Qatar's LNG capacity for up to 5 years. Oh, I mean, look, this is completely different than Liberation Day. I said it today. I'm going to say it again for the people here. Liberation Day was all talk that could be walked back. You can walk back tariffs. You can walk back remarks. You cannot walk back a missile strike that takes out energy infrastructure. That is why this is so different. You cannot walk this back. We need this to end immediately.
What do you think about the claims of the Ras Laffin or whatever it's called, where they said the build back is going to take 3 to 5 years? I'm like, what? Like, how's that possible? Why so long?
Look at how long it's taken next decade to build out their stuff. It's not overnight.
How long?
Next decade's years for their trains to come online.
All right.
I mean, this is much different than building a data center. Hold on.
All right. Maybe I'm wrong. I just thought I've seen some motivated projects get put up pretty quickly.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you that there are things that can be done quickly, but it is much different building You've looked at what these things look like, right, Tanner?
I saw the picture of the Ras Laffin after it was bombed.
Okay, so this is what...
Just so people are aware, because it's going to come off insanely ignorant, but like, this is not a space I follow.
No, I get it.
At all.
But this is much different than building a data center. A data center, you're building a shell, you're running electricity, you're running HVAC, you're throwing servers and stacking and racking them, okay? You're building a liquefied natural gas production facility and exporting facility. And this is what got bombed overseas, I believe. This is years and years and years to make. Years.
You're right.
Let me see if, here, I shouldn't. Look at this. I mean, this takes a long time.
Yeah.
So,
and then I think I saw another one, either Israel or Iran or something like this just bombed another one today, an oil refinery. Like, they're just going after all the infrastructure right now. It's just pure carnage.
We need this to end. I mean, look, from an investment standpoint, a lot of people are doing really well because of next decade and VG, but this is not the way that we should want to make money. Okay. I certainly don't want to make money because of loss of life and war. So there's other ways to make money. This is not the way that, if I had my choice, I would much rather this not have happened, obviously.
I try to make money exclusively on Making Life. Invest in local sperm banks.
Giving blood.
Giving blood. Yep. You know, got to invest in your local blood and sperm facilities. Hopefully they're separate facilities.
How many unknown kids do you have?
I've never
Okay.
I've never done that.
Okay.
The one comment you had to bring up was you. Not so gross. That's it's, you know, you're allowing people to start families.
Listen, with your genes, who knows? With your genes, who knows? All right.
Fertility clinic. Is sperm bank not a thing to say? Maybe I'm too much in fintech. I just think in terms of banks.
So let me ask you this. You streamed and you followed the NVIDIA stuff. I did not watch it. I saw Amit ask a question and I saw some things that he posted on X. What were your biggest takeaways? And obviously I talked to him today on his show. What were your takeaways from it?
Don't stream it if you want to get banned. If you don't want to get banned. No,
that's not why I'm asking.
Ultimately the biggest thing that I took away was the $1 trillion number. Just like, if I'm being totally honest, but obviously the new Grok chips was quite interesting. Now that they're selling a set of different enterprise tools depending on the workloads that customers have, that'll be very interesting. I'm also interested in hearing what the margin for them is on the different sets of Vera Rubin versus the Grok, the LPX. Am I getting that right? LPX products. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the general thing. I don't know if we saw a whole lot of new stuff. It's just the continuation of, you know, the future is coming. Like that's the one thing that I disagree with Amit, where he's like, okay, well, we need to see new stuff to get people excited. And I'm like, no, I honestly think it's just time. Like, we just need the models to continue to improve, and we need more robotaxis to be made, and we just need not NVIDIA, but all the developers and all the innovators to just continue to build with these products. And we need them to start shipping better products and making more revenues and more robots and more robotaxis. And then that's going to bring on NVIDIA's products more online. So I think NVIDIA is just a clear bet on the future.
I was very interested about the China news.
In terms of
the H200s?
Yes. Yeah. But we kind of knew that, right? That they were like shipping them. It's just a matter of how many. Yeah. And that continues to change.
Yeah.
What happened to SMCI after hours? We did talk about this, but SMCI's has 3 people that have either worked as contractors with them or employed that were selling chips to China, or at least they're being accused of that. But SMCI was not actually named as a defendant. They are not the problem. I think they might have a few bad actors that work inside the corporation. Now, maybe there's a whistleblowing activity that ends up happening. Who knows? But seems like people that were working for SMCI. The founder was one of them? No, that would have came out in the story. However, that might actually make sense for why the stock is moving.
I mean, you would
so
think
much.
The founder or somebody at that level's got to okay something. You're talking about
it was a co-founder. It really was.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. You're talking about a large amount of money that's being allocated for this. That's not some middle manager doing that, Tannor.
Coordinated the whole thing over encrypted group chats. Faces up to 30 years in federal prison. shipped 500. Okay, there's so much more information than the original report that I read. This is way more detailed now that's coming out. Caught on surveillance cameras using a hairdryer to swap serial number stickers. Built thousands of fake dummy servers to fool U.S. compliance auditors. $510 million worth shipped in just the last 3 weeks. In 3 weeks in spring of 2025. Used a Southeast Asia shell company to funnel $2.5 billion in servers to Chinese buyers. Okay, it's way worse than I thought.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not down 12% for nothing.
No, that's why I said, because the original one that I read, the original report that I read was saying like, hey, it's 2 employees that are on administrative leave and a contractor. That's literally the one that I read. So I was like, 2 employees and a contractor. Okay, fire them. So sorry.
No good. No good.
He's personally caught on surveillance camera using a hairdryer to swap serial number stickers. Okay.
I'm glad I never got back in. How come Muddy Waters couldn't write a report on that? I agree. Sure wrote about freaking SMCI, not SoFi.
2 employees can't do that for $2 billion. I didn't know it was $2 billion. The first report didn't say $2 billion.
Oh, Tanner, we got to do something.
What's up?
Friend of the channel asked me to ask you something. I heard a little story that you freaked out yesterday about Micron earnings, and we want to watch the reaction of the reaction.
Sure.
We want to watch you react to yourself.
Oh, me reacting to myself is not that great of a thing, but
well, you and me reacting because I didn't see it yet.
Sure. Yeah, I had I was in great spirits.
So I need this in my life.
Okay, wait. Let's. Okay. I have it here.
Nice.
Was a little hyped. My bad, guys. Says 229.50. Day green up 2.8, up 3% on Micron. Things are out. Oh my God! I knew it. Revenue beat by 22%. EPS beat by 40%. Revenue went up 200% year over year. EPS beat by 682%. That's why we swing trade those days, baby. That's why. I'm
dude,
down.
Dude, how much caffeine did you have? That's amazing. I love it.
Massive beat. This is going to be a good day. The stock, I don't get Mike. It was not a good day. Come on, this is so funny to me that this company does not move on earnings day. It's like this should be up 10% right now.
Dude.
This should be up 10% right now. You beat revenue by 22%. That simply does not happen.
Your reaction's amazing.
And then Duolingo came out, and that one actually did pop. DLocal. Guys, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Oh, you started
singing and DLocal's here. I'm up nearly 8.3%. That was a good day. And who didn't say it's Christmas time? Okay, it's March and it's snowing. And did you guys see that red candle there for a second? Oh, okay, it's gone. Little embarrassing to look back on. At least DLocal's up. And you know what? Micron will be fine. Like the earnings part is absolutely real. And I'm going to start just getting into like poly market betting, because honestly, the part that I like betting on is whether or not they're going to beat. And I called you before that happened, and I said, what's the chances that they're going to beat guidance by like 50%? That doesn't happen. That was a crazy comment for me to say. It beat by 46%. Like, that was pretty dang close. I had an inkling. And the fact that it happened it got me juiced up. I was feeling it in my heart.
Oh, we can tell.
And then the stock didn't move.
Yeah, I agree with Dookie. You need to clip your earnings reactions and just make shorts out of them. 100%.
No, because the stock didn't, if it actually went somewhere, but whenever Marshall comes on, there's going to, the channel, I'm going to take the channel much more seriously. And he's going to help me with a lot of that. But yeah, in 10 days, we're going to have a much different channel than what we do now. I mean, there's going to be clips and stuff like that. And I'm going to try to, do it a little bit more professionally. But for now, we're just going live and talking to the Future Investing cult members. We're a cult, baby.
I mean, one of the best damn cults there ever was.
And you're a saint for saying so. Someone said, Rip, don't be more serious. It's not that I'm not going to be more serious. It's just I'm going to, try to actually make clips and more videos. And like, if I say I'm going to make a video a day, I'm going to actually try to make a video a day rather than, focusing on my step counts and my sleep score. I mean, can
we talk about sleep?
Let's talk sleep. Which I can only be on for 8 more minutes.
That's fine. I am turning over a new leaf, Tanner.
I heard. What an amazing thing.
I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm no longer going to bed at 1:30 in the morning. Sometimes, some nights 12:30. It depends what night of the week. No, my normal bedtime during the week that I get in bed is usually, I don't know, 12:30.
Mm-hmm.
I am now trying to be asleep before 11 o'clock.
It's a beautiful thing.
I'm trying to be in bed between 10:30 and 10:45.
11 to 7 is a great schedule.
Well, I'm setting my alarm for 6:30.
10:30 to 6:30 is great.
I'm trying to get 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep now.
Yeah. It's healthy for you. Sleep reduces all-cause mortality by large double digits. And then sauna on top of that. Saunas, people who sauna 5 times a day in a dry sauna can reduce your all-cause mortality by 40% on average. You couple those two things together, you might as well be an immortal being. They don't stack as easily, but it's funny if you just take a couple steps in the right direction, how much better you're going to feel. Yeah,
I'm trying to take my sleep more seriously. Tanner talked some sense into me, and
5 times. I meant 5 times a week, not 5 times a day. My bad. I sauna 5 times a week, not 5 times a day.
Man, that's a lot of sauna.
I need some more sleep.
A lot of sauna.
A lot of sauna. I'm going to sauna right after this.
Good role model. You bringing your ice in?
I got to bring the ice in.
Got to bring the ice in.
If I'm going to donate to the banks, I got to,
I mean, listen, Billy
can't
Jack.
Get foreclosed on at the sperm bank. I got to donate.
For the longest, I used to run on 4 or 5 hours of sleep a lot, sometimes 3 or 4 hours when I was in my 20s, and I didn't feel it. I'm starting to feel it. Like I need more sleep in my life. Without a question. You can't just mask it with coffee.
I keep blowing my nose, or I've got a runny nose. I don't know. Maybe it's all that sauning.
Who knows? Who knows? All right. So let's end it on, do we think a pivot is going to happen soon?
Ooh, okay. So that is actually, sorry, I'm going to take your question and give you a question, because this is something that I've been feeling. Whenever you have an earnings like Micron just did and the stock actually ends up going down, what kind of sign does that tell you of where we are in the market?
Very bad.
Right. But does that mean that we're nearing a bottom, or does that mean that we're just on our way down?
It doesn't have to mean that we're on our way down. When I say very bad, it means that there's so much priced into the market that we could be sideways for a while. You think about NVIDIA blowout quarter Q3 came down. Blowout quarter Q4 came down. You couldn't have two better consecutive quarters out of any company than what they did.
Except for maybe Micron.
Then you get Micron to come out and do what they did, and it goes down. Tells you there's a lot of stuff, one, priced in, two, that the market is very worried about the CapEx cycle. So if NVIDIA and Micron can't blast off or even go up a little bit and get a little bit, Dookie, enjoy the Laker game. Luka.
Bye, Dookie.
Luka. That's all that matters. Luka. Anyway.
Luka Doncic.
I bought a bunch of his rookies.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
That's how famous he is. Yeah. It's made it to Tannor.
So when you get those types of quarters and you can't at least touch all-time highs or get near them, to me, I'd say that that's a telltale sign that we're going to go sideways. We don't have to go lower, but it's the easy money's made is what it tells me.
Yeah. The easy money is made.
NVIDIA should be 240 right now.
Anything under 250, you're fine with.
No, I'm being realistic.
No, I know.
I'm not just saying 240 for no reason. Like me saying 240 is because when you put NVIDIA at 240, it's trading at 29 times this year's earnings and 18.5 times 2028. Like that's still cheap.
Yeah.
Tanner, before you ask me a question, do you know what NVIDIA's price would have to be to trade the same multiple as Walmart?
On a forward basis, you mean?
On this year's earnings.
You mean 2026?
Yeah. This year's earnings.
I don't know what Walmart's is, but
41.33.
Sorry?
It trades at 41.33 times this year's earnings.
I mean, a lot higher. SoFi would need to double, or NVIDIA would need to double.
NVIDIA would have to trade $341.
That's actually not too uncommon of a price target on Wall Street right now, though.
To trade at the same multiple as Walmart.
Yeah. Getting near that, what, 9 trillion? The average price target across top analysts right now for NVIDIA is 274. The most recent upgrade was actually today. Raymond James, 5-star analyst, calls for an 80% upside, $323 12 months from now. And that's kind of littered across their upgrades lately. Yesterday, we ended up seeing a $300, a $325, a $220, $275, a $300. Huge upgrades. It's a little crazy to me. All right, dude. It's time.
All right, it's time. Tanner's got to hit the sauna. I got to wind down. I'm trying to take my sleep more seriously, and it's so I can make better videos for all of you.
I love you guys so much. This is the
best
greatest community on YouTube.
Best community there is. We're not doing a list this week. We had to move the show to only an hour instead of an hour and a half. We will do a list next week when we come back at our regular day and regular time at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. We don't know what list we're going to do, but we'll do a list.
Guy in Twitch says, what about Twitch? Staples, of course. Also including Twitch. You guys are part of the cult.
Of course. Because when Tanner gets banned from YouTube, he needs that Twitch community.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
Hundreds of people showed up for it. I really appreciate that. That was a really scary time in the channel.
We are not going to drag this out and make Tannor stay.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Have a great night, everyone. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye for now.